So CM Punk. This is from a source I asked about whether there was interest from Triple H and the WWE about a return from CM Punk. Essentially the quote is, "Yep, Triple H would be down for that, if only so that he can feed CM Punk to the bloodline, have Roman make jokes about biting dogs, and have him buried so badly that even Paul Heyman ends up pinning CM Punk." Now, to be clear, that doesn't come from Triple H directly, but that is a source when I asked about the possibility of a return to the WWE for CM Punk. That said, CM Punk is now in a very difficult position. The reports about him having his contract bought out are true. I can confirm them to be the case. The discussion is still ongoing. CM Punk himself is being very difficult to work with, so reports suggest. And I've been told Tony Khan's struggling to get him to sit down long enough to actually put together a deal that works. The cost is expected to be roughly $2 million. Roughly $2 million is expected to be the cost of buying out CM Punk's contract, which would have continued for another 2 years. Now, CM Punk is the one who wants out, to my knowledge. Tony Khan, from what I can tell, is still hoping that a deal can be struck between the two parties, but it is CM Punk who is essentially refused to negotiate, refused to come to the table, and simply refused to be involved. What CM Punk wants is to go away, recover from his injury, and then pop up somewhere else. As regards WWE interest, there was more interest when Vince McMahon was in charge than there is now with Triple H in charge, and this is also the case from Punk himself. CM Punk never had a real problem with Vince McMahon. Yes, he was annoyed at Vince McMahon, they were firings he didn't like and so on and so forth, but the relationship between Vince McMahon and CM Punk wasn't a bad relationship. The issue was between CM Punk and Triple H. That was a relationship breakdown. That was when things really collapsed entirely. That was the thing that actually pushed CM Punk straight out the door. He did not want to wrestle Triple H. He had several issues with other things, but it was the combination of Triple H rather than the actual issue with Vince McMahon. Interest now would have to come directly from Nick Khan, who would be interested in the potential profit to be made, but the Chief Content Officer, Triple H, is not believed to be very interested beyond a cheap, quick buck. Essentially, CM Punk would be made to jump through a few hoops before we got there, potentially a Hall of Fame induction, and so on and so forth. And I do believe if he does pop up, he will be getting fed to Roman at the nearest possibility. There are a number of alternatives that CM Punk can consider at this point in time. Notably, there are some options for UFC. There are commentary options in different arenas, such as Impact, such as the English commentary for New Japan, and there is a number of other offers on the table from other wrestling companies. The NWA, to my knowledge, or at least so I've been told, have an interest in CM Punk but couldn't necessarily afford him. There are also panel jobs on Fox networks. There is definitely still considerable interest from the Fox network for more CM Punk content. The issue then would be the part-time nature and the amount that he would demand in payment. CM Punk, to my knowledge, still wants to wrestle. Once he is recovered from his injury, he intends to return to wrestling one way or another, but he is not willing to return to AEW at any point in the near future. When CM Punk first returned to wrestling for AEW, I reported at the time he is a flight risk. Once he has what he wants, he will be going. And can I just say, he still has the AEW World Championship, or at least a version of it, and he will be taking advantage of that fact.